Our top story at this hour is coming from Pakistan. Islamabad has decided to recall its Iran envoy, dubbing Iran's deadly strikes as illegal and unacceptable. In addition, the South Asian country has suspended all high-level planned visits between the two countries. In a statement released by the Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Islamabad has called the attack as unprovoked and blatant breach of international law. It also said it reserves the right to respond to this illegal act, and the responsibility for the consequences will now lie squarely with Iran. WION also brings you an exclusive bite of the Pakistan's caretaker, Information and Broadcasting Minister, Murtaza Solangi. Let's listen in now.
The history of cordial relations between Iran and Pakistan, it was a sad incident that happened yesterday, and the government of Pakistan, especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has already responded. We have taken some measures, and we are assessing the situation. We are also in the process of investigation what happened and when, and who is responsible for it, despite the claims that have been made, but we would not rush to judgment.
Pakistan reserves the right to respond to this illegal act, and the responsibility for the consequences will lie squarely with Iran. We have conveyed this message to the government of Iran. We have also informed them that Pakistan has decided to recall its ambassador from Iran, and that the Iranian ambassador to Pakistan, who is currently visiting Iran, may not return for the time being.
To tell us more, we are joined by our Pakistan Bureau Chief, Anas Malik, from Islamabad. Anas, help us understand this response by Pakistan's caretaker government.
Well, it's not just the government's response, Chris. We're looking at it as a state response. What one can decipher from this move of recalling the ambassador, it can be said that this is a final nail in the coffin before an escalated conflict from the Pakistan side, as what the Pakistani side has been reiterating publicly, that the consequence of which will solely lie with Tehran. The Pakistani side today has announced of recalling its ambassador, Mohammad Mudassir Tipu, who had very recently taken charge in Tehran as an ambassador. They've also said that the current Iranian ambassador to Pakistan, who is currently not in the country, he has been asked to not return. That's what they have said in their statement. Essentially, this means that Pakistan is preparing for a multi-pronged approach, be that be diplomatically or be that be in terms of the conflict that we might see in time to come, because there's a lot of public pressure. Last night, we saw the Irani side going in to Pakistan, announcing that they have hit targets allegedly of the Jaish al-Adl in the Panjgor area of Balochistan, which borders adjacent to the Balochistan Sistan province of Iran. Now, at least 2 people have been killed, 3 others have been minorly injured, but this is a major diplomatic escalation on the part of Pakistan when they say that they will not be recalling their ambassador back to Islamabad. Chris?
Anas, you said that there is a lot of public pressure in Pakistan at this point of time after the Iranian attacks. What implications will this Pakistan-Iran face-off have in the region? And is Pakistan expected to respond only diplomatically?
Well, we're looking what the diplomatic step has been this gives in, if history is to serve as a lesson, this gives in that this is the first of the steps that Pakistan will be taking of recalling the ambassador and then going ahead with a possible kinetic approach. That is again a possibility, because if you go by history, this is what the steps are. First, they recall the ambassador worldwide and cut down the diplomatic scale, and then there is a sort of an escalation, military escalation. That is what the trend has been. So, would it be any different for Pakistan? That's a question. That's $1 million question. With that being said, I'll just give you another piece of information. The air chief of the Pakistani Air Force has arrived at the Rawalpindi headquarters of the military, the GHQ, where he is said to be in a meeting with the 3 services chiefs and the chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee. Now, that basically gives in to the sense of how things are going ahead. Vis-a-vis the public pressure and vis-a-vis the internal pressure as well that the military is dealing with, for the very fact that this is a first. Previously, we've seen that Iranian side and the Pakistani side both have been raising questions on presence of terrorists on each other's borders, but they have been acting solely on their own territories. So this would be something that would be very closely watched out, Chris.
Anas, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Do continue tracking all the developments on ground as the world focus is right now on Iran and Pakistan's tensions in the regions.